Hello everyone. Okay, so today we are going to begin our next topic, that is girls begin going to school, which is of your class 8, chapter number 8, that is women, caste and reform. Okay, so let's begin our girls begin going to school topic. In this topic, what are we going to study about? We are going to study about the when what happened when first time girls school opened, and how many girls school open in which parts, which parts of India. Okay, and what was how people reacted towards to the girls school opening, and how many people made this, and how it did implemented all. Okay, so all about this we are going to study in our class Historia. Okay, so let's begin. Many of the reformers felt that education for girls was necessary in order to improve the condition for women. Okay, so it was a very obvious and a very important point, that why reformers thought that girls need education to improve their in order to improve their condition for of women. Okay, as you know, you have studied about the condition of women in the earlier classes, that how people used to disrespect women all most of the time, and they don't even give proper education to them. If they would be knowing the rights, their education, then they would be able to maintain their living standards and their condition, and they won't be affected by any of the surrounding thing which is happening, which is wrong. Okay, so that is what it is. Now, first school, here it is telling that Vidyasagar, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, has the image of Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar in Calcutta, many other reformers in Calcutta, and many other reformers in Bombay set up schools for girls. Okay, so he was the first one who set up school for girls in Calcutta, and reformers in Bombay set up school for girls in Bombay. Okay, when the first schools were opened in mid 19th century. So what is mid 19th century? Mid 19th mean the century in which the last year is 1900. So mid 19th doesn't mean 1950. Okay, mid 19th, just a second, it doesn't mean 1950. Okay, what does it mean? 1850. Okay, this is mid 19th century. All right, so around 1850, okay, many people were afraid of them. They feared that schools would take girls away from home. So basically, what people were facing the difficulties, people thought that because of the stereotypical society of people, they thought that if girls need education, they wanted to be educated, so they have to face people, they have to go through to go through to the public places of of India, to go to reach the school. Okay, so they didn't wanted their girls to go to the public places. Okay, they don't want that, they didn't wanted that. Okay, but that is, and how will be they able to send their girls to school if they won't let them go to the public places. Okay, and they also are, some of them also have this, that they will not doing domestic duties, and moreover girls had to travel through public places, and they thought that uh, this would give a corrupting effect over the girls. Okay, they felt that girls should stay away from public spaces. Therefore, throughout 19th century, most educated women were taught at home by liberal fathers or husbands. Okay, so what was happening? So the thing is that at that time, people has the thought that they should not go to the public places. It won't be appropriate for them. It will corrupt, a corrupting influence on them. So that is why the most educated women at that time were not came from schools, were not studied from schools. Most educated women were found where their fathers or their husbands were teaching them. The women whose fathers and her husbands were teaching them. Okay, sometimes women taught themselves. Okay, these were also the cases, that either father or husband sometimes if none of the family member is supporting this, so the girls, so some of the women also have studied by their own, and one of the examples are Raj Sundari Devi. If you remember in your last year class 8 civics, in that chapter we have studied about Raj Sundari Devi. It was a whole full-fledged one or one and a half page paragraph about Raj Sundari Devi, and it was a full story in which it is mentioned that she has secretly learned to read and write in the flickering light of candles at night, and it was done in her in-laws, at the home of in-laws. When she was in the in-laws home, she used to secretly learn at the night time, and throughout the night she used to study about it in the flickering lights of candles. Okay, so this is how it used to happen. So Raj Sundari Devi taught herself by her own, and some other fathers and husbands were also teaching their wives and daughters. Okay, now in the later part of the century, schools for girls were established by the Arya Samaj in Punjab. Okay, so now it is telling that in the first time Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar found it in Calcutta and in the Bombay. Alright, now it is telling that after some time of the century, okay, in the century, but after some time, schools for girls were established by Arya Samaj. Now who established schools for girls in Punjab? So you would say Arya Samaj in Punjab. And who did this same thing in Maharashtra? That will be Jyotirao Phule. Okay, Jyotirao Phule in Maharashtra, Arya Samaj in Punjab. In aristocratic Muslim households in North India, women learned to read the Quran in Arabic. So basically, aristocratic. What is aristocratic? If you remember, in the last chapter we have studied about, aristocratic means one who belongs to noble families, rich families, or have a good and hi-fi or standardized surrounding. Okay, so aristocratic Muslim households in North India. Okay, North India, we know North India, women learn to read the Quran in Arabic. Okay, Arabic language. In the Arabic language, what is Quran? Quran is the sacred book of Muslims. Okay, sacred book of Muslims. So women learned about Quran in Arabic. They were taught by women who came home to teach. Okay, so as no woman was allowed to go to the schools, to reach the schools, to go to the public places, so that is why women teachers used to come to their home and teach those girls or ladies or women. Okay, so ladies teachers were there. Some reformers such as Mumtaz Ali reinterpreted verses from Quran to argue to women's education. When it came to women's education, people were asking about that. A lot of people were against of women's education because they thought that this won't be correct, as we have also studied in the very first page of this chapter, that people have this mindset that if a girl got educated, that girl will become sati soon. Okay, will become sati soon. But that was not at all right. Okay, so Mumtaz Ali was a very if you remember, Mumtaz Ali was the wife of whom? She was the wife of Shah Jahan. Okay, Shah Jahan. So Mumtaz Ali reinterpreted. She said verses when someone says about the Quran that women's education is not at all correct for them. Women should not educate herself. So for that purpose, when it comes to fight about this, Mumtaz Ali used to fight on the basis of the verses present in the Quran book to argue for women's education. Okay, the first Urdu novel began to be written from the late 19th century. Okay, now first Urdu novel also began to be written in the which century? Late 19th century. Amongst other things, these were meant to encourage women to read about religion and domestic management in a language they could understand. Okay, so amongst other things, if we just ignore the other things, this were meant to encourage women to read about religion, okay, that so that women could get to know about what is her religion, what is the domestic management, in a language they could understand very easily. Okay, so this was all in this paragraph. Now let's get to a small caption. Figure 6, after figure 6 mentioned here. In this figure there are ladies, right? There are ladies present. If you see, all of them are English Hindi ladies at the back side, but in the mid there's a foreign lady, right? This one. Okay, so students of Hindi Mahila Vidyalaya 1875. So Hindu Mahila Vidyalaya opened in 1875. Okay, when girls' schools were first set up in the 19th century, it was generally believed that curriculum for girls ought to be less taxing than that of for boys. The Hindu Mahila Vidyalaya was one of the first institutions to provide girls with the kind of learning that was usual for boys at that time. So when the girls' school began, so it was generally believed, okay, it was just generally believed, ऐसा माना जाता था, that the curriculum, or you can say the syllabus, or you can say the studies, the study material for girls ought to be less taxing than that for boys. Means that that won't get that high level of education if we compare it to boys. Boys must be having good level of education, but girls would not be having this level of education. So they have to what they it was generally believed that they won't get that level of education, but that was not true. Hindu Mahila Vidyalaya was the first one who provided the same syllabus which was usually learned by boys at the time, and also they wanted the same syllabus to the girls for the girls, so that is why they also provided the same syllabus to the girls in Hindu Mahila Vidyalaya of 1875. Okay, so this was all in this paragraph. Okay, so if you have any kind of question, doubt, please mention in the comment section. I will definitely answer you all doubts. And thank you. Have a good day.